Hi friends, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel. Chicago has finally pulled itself out of the awful polar vortex we were in. I don't know where you guys are located and if you went through that, but I know a lot of states were very, very cold last week. This week is a little more normal. It's still gloomy and gray out, but I think that not being -20 is cause for celebration with a new video. So that's what we're gonna do today. Today's topic is writing advice. I have been thinking about this for weeks actually, and wanting to make this video for a long time because I get asked by teachers and students and readers all the time, what advice do you have for me? Writing is hard, or writing is fun, or writing is something that makes me nervous. These are all things that I hear from people. And so I've kind of compiled a little list of things that help me, that I've learned over the years of being in publishing and working towards having a book on the shelves. So let's go ahead and dive in. And before we get too far into the list, just know this. If you do not want to be a writer someday, this is still going to apply to you, okay? No matter what you want to be, doctor, scientist, lawyer, writing is going to be a part of your job. It's a skill that's important in life. And so these tips are going to help you get where you want to be and achieve as much as you can. So stick around. Tip number 1, be patient. I will be the first to admit that I am not the most patient person. Anyone who knows me in real life will know that I like things to happen and I like them to happen yesterday. That's not the way things always work with writing. Writing is something that requires a lot of patience, and it's something I've had to teach myself over the years. You need to be patient with yourself, first of all, and know that getting something on paper that you're proud of and that other people respond positively to doesn't always happen quickly. Sometimes you go through rounds and rounds of work at that, and you do get some feedback that stings a little, maybe some criticism. And for me along the road, there was a lot of rejection. You guys know me as the author of The Peculiar Incident on Shady Street, but before that book came out, I was a struggling writer trying really hard to write something that was gonna make it in publishing. I got a lot of rejection, years of rejection, guys. It's something that you have to remind yourself is normal. It happens to all authors. You have to be patient with yourself and trust that you are moving forward, you're making progress, you are learning, you're becoming better, and you're not a crummy writer just because this patience is being tested, right? I also want you to be patient with your writing itself. Let's talk about that first draft. Rough drafts are supposed to be messy. That's just the nature of them. They're filled with errors. Sometimes there's plot holes. Maybe your characters aren't fully formed or your setting's only halfway there. Totally normal. My rough drafts are all kinds of sloppy, and that's the way I like them because I know that down the road I have a chance to do this magical thing called revise. That's when you can go back and fix all that stuff and bulk it up and make it a better, bigger, shinier version of what it is. So let those first drafts be messy. Be patient with your drafts. Use that time to get all the ideas out there, and then you can fix them later. Number 2, be curious. This is one of my very favorite things to talk about, guys. And I want to take a minute before I dive into it and give a shout out to a good friend and colleague of mine, Jess Keating. Jess Keating writes the most amazing nonfiction books. One of my favorite is Pink is for Blobfish. I love that book. And she also has a new series coming out with Scholastic, a Nikki Tesla series that looks phenomenal. Guys, Jess did an entire post one time on curiosity and inspiration, and it inspired me. And I've thought about it a lot ever since she posted it. And I've thought that really, when it comes down to it, curiosity is the best tool you can have as a writer. It's better than a flashy new laptop. It's better than noise-canceling headphones. It's better than all of that. And best of all, it's completely free. Without curiosity, I can honestly say The Peculiar Incident on Shady Street would not exist. I chose to follow my curiosity one day and take a walk through a graveyard where I discovered a grave that was mysterious and haunting and eerie, but also kind of beautiful. And little did I know, until I went home and started researching, that was the grave of the ghost featured in The Peculiar Incident on Shady Street. So that entire book was launched from following my curiosity on a simple walk through a graveyard. So always make time in your day to be curious. Be proud of yourself when you're curious about things, because you never know what inspiration they will lead you to. Also, and this is one of the hardest, be confident. Guys, I know how difficult writing can be sometimes, and I know that when you get feedback that isn't what you were expecting to hear or what you wanted to hear, it can shake our confidence. It can make us feel like maybe we're not very good writers, but I want you to remember that's not true. You guys have seen the final version of The Peculiar Incident on Shady Street, but you never saw any of the previous versions that were all messy, that had red markings through them, that had suggestions from my editor and my agent, and all kinds of things I needed to fix. Sometimes seeing all of that work makes us feel less of a writer. Like, wow, if I was a good writer, I wouldn't have all this stuff to do. And that's not true. Not for any of us. Not for you guys, whether or not you're a student or wherever stage you're in with your writing, and not for professional authors. You have to stay confident. Remember that you have the tools to do this. All you really need is the motivation and the perseverance and the strength to keep pushing through. And my final piece of advice, I actually wrote it as a hashtag, just because I kind of always have it in the back of my head, and I want you guys to put it in the back of your heads from now on, is be you. This is one of the most important B's. I call these the 3 B's. This is the 4th unofficial B that I want you to always have in your head. Be you. Always remember to write like you. Don't try to write like anyone else, because your voice and your special brand and style of writing is what makes your writing special and unique and amazing. So try not to compare yourself to other people. Try not to compare your short story, your poem, your essay to your classmates. Do you, because you're the only one that can do that the best. All right, guys, I hope that these tips helped you. I want to encourage you to visit my website at lindsaycurry.com for further tips. I have all kinds of videos and fun things and quizzes and things up there that I think will help you when you're feeling stuck and unmotivated. So for now, over and out. I'll film a new video in the next week or so. It'll probably be a reader response video, or maybe another writing tip video. If you guys have a suggestion, leave it down below this, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks, guys.